Welcome to Seth MacFarlane's Cartoon Cavalcade of Comedy. I think I said that wrong. Well, the show must go on. What the fuck was it called? Seth MacFarlane's Cartoon Comedy Cavalcade? Cavalcade of Comedy Cartoon? I had this all planned out in my damn head. Well. That wasn't even a funny thing to say to begin with. Why am I harping on this so much? So yeah, it's Mario still. Mario. He continues to be on screen. So, what have I been doing lately? Not much, I can tell you that much. Oops. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Let's just start this episode over. God damn, this is awful. No, we'll keep going. So Mario's had the Power Star there. That was pretty cool. I mean, you've probably seen that 100,000 times already. Speaking of Mario Power Stars, I read an amusing article on Cracked back in the day. And this guy was describing his visit to China and all the bizarre things he saw there, and he says that everyone there drives like they've got the star music from Mario playing in their heads, and I thought that was a very amusing analogy. Who wrote that? It wasn't Sean Baby. It was one of the other guys. I think he said it was from Ireland. So no, the guy who wrote it was from Ireland. So that should at least give you a hint if you want to look this up. Do any of the 2010 era Cracked writers still work there? I don't feel like they do. Seems as though the site's really gone down in quality over the years. But that happens to lots of places, I guess. Sites can get worse and they can get better. It all depends on who's a man in the helm, as they say. Yes, indeed. 2010 era Cracked.com was a funny place. Lots of interesting topics and such. I always liked Sean Baby's contributions, and I liked the one where he made fun of the Family Circus, which was like a popular newspaper comic from back in the day. Like he would re-edit the speech bubbles to make them say different things, and they had this one comic where the dad was reading a story to the kids, and he changed the speech bubbles to make it look like the dad barely knew how to read. He was just like, the airplane. Have I ever told that story on this channel before? I feel like I have. I mean, I suppose when you get an episode nearly every single day for several years, and 10 minutes of content just continuously for years on end, it might get a little repetitive here and there, but like I always say, nobody's watching this crap, so it doesn't matter. It's just me. It's you and me and all of the people. I think it was called Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. The longer I think about this, the more confident I get in that answer. Yeah, just a callback to what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. Still stewing on that in my mind as we were having this conversation. Look at that, he's the same color as the bricks. It's like some kind of wacky camouflage. You hear that occasional drum beat in this boss battle music? That wasn't generated by the NES, that was a sample. Yes, the NES could do sound sampling in very small amounts, and the ever so talented Nintendo developers took advantage of that. So kudos to you, ever so talented Nintendo developers. So this lets you hop about the map. Honestly, probably takes just as much time as walking over there normally. That ain't saving us any effort. Which box do we want? Not that it matters. I don't know why the leaves are green on the menu thing and then brown in the actual game. They have the same function. It's just confusing is what it is. Alright, let's jump into this next level with pure invincibility. Let's kick some ass. Like that Brundle Floss song, open steam, pick your class, saddle up and kick some ass. It was the Brundle Floss TF2 song. I have not seen Brundle Floss in years. Does he even still make stuff? I remember, I think my interest in Brundle Floss peaked in 2014 when I was in college, and I was just kind of stuck on campus for the day because I didn't have any transportation, and as I was stuck there, I had the Brundle Floss Mario Paint song stuck in my head, and specifically the part with the "It even came with a mouse and a mouse pad." That was a big deal back then. Yeah, that part was stuck in my head, and it just kept repeating itself so much that I got to, thinking that maybe there's some kind of additional significance to the fact that the game included a mouse and a mouse pad. Why else would I spend so much time and energy thinking about it? There's gotta be some reason that it's stuck in my head, but no, that's not how the human mind works. Songs just get stuck in your head for no reason, and there's nothing you can do about it. Whenever I hear the phrase "nothing you can do about it," it reminds me of a bit from Louis C.K.'s TV show, Louis, and the bit did not age well in the slightest. I'm not gonna recite it here on the show, but because I don't know who's gonna see this someday, and I don't want them to get confused and think I'm saying those things. But just look for the bit from Louis that ends with Louis saying, "And there's nothing you can do about it." And you should be able to find the full bit, and yeah, that has not held up well. I guess in hindsight there were always signs. It's a damn shame what happened to Louis. He was a funny guy. I saw some of his stand-up specials just on the internet at the peak of his popularity in like 2014, and he was a funny man. Yeah, but well, maybe he'll come back someday. The thing that he did isn't as bad compared to some of the others. And his show was decent, like setting the comedy bits aside. Louis actually had some good moments. I always liked the one where he talked to Robin Williams, and I don't think they had intended for Robin to act the way that he did. It's like the way they wanted to set up this bit where it started sad, but then it turned happy, but then it also briefly got sad again at the end, and Robin Williams was the person that Louis was talking to with this bit. And if you watch Robin's face, you can actually see some very real sadness in his eyes as they're talking about the sad part, and it just makes for this very profound moment that honestly has no right being in just this goofy comedy show, and it's very jarring to see that. I'm gonna look that up later. So yeah, I guess there were definitely signs with Robin Williams. He had some very serious problems behind the scenes. Poor guy. Just if only. I'm just stuck thinking about all the highlights of all the things Robin Williams was in over the years. It was mostly comedy, but then every now and again he'd stop to do a serious movie with like a touching moment in it, because he also did Dead Poets Society, and it had that message about living life to the fullest while you've still got the chance, and he also did a 1 hour photo, and I got to watch part of Dead Poets Society with my grandparents when I was on vacation maybe 11 years ago, and I don't know if I should really tell this story on the internet. And let me check my surroundings a bit. Yeah, I think we're good. So yeah, I was watching the movie with my grandparents, and I think they kind of forgot that I was in the room with them, and they started getting a little too friendly with each other, with me sitting there watching the movie, and so I started getting uncomfortable, and I got up and left, and they thought I was leaving because I didn't like the movie, which is funny in hindsight. Gosh, that was a while ago. Dead Poets Society had a very profound message. It really resonated with me just based on where I was at in life, because they had the scene where he had the students look at the picture of classes that had gone there previously. All the group pictures were hung up in the hallway going back many years, and he was saying that most of the people pictured there weren't around anymore, and their time had passed, and someday that's gonna happen to you, and you gotta live life before that happened. And as I was watching that scene, so yeah, I saw that scene, and then maybe a couple of weeks or a month later, I had met up with an old friend from school who had graduated a year before me, and he had a picture in his room that looked very similar to the types of pictures in the hallway in the movie, just like a class picture of everybody meeting up for the last time, and it very much reminded me of the movie, and it was really this profound moment, and seemed like what they were trying to present, the idea in the movie of time passing, was also happening to me in real life. It's always strange when movies and real life align like that. Gosh, did I even talk about Mario at all in this episode? This episode went to strange places.